Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Western Alliance Era 3 mid-era medium tank, the AMX 40. Now yes, this isn't a duck tank, this isn't the duck tank, alright, this is a different AMX 40. And this one is the mid-era 3 tank for the French Cold War line. And this is the one that becomes before the Leclerc. And it's a really damn good tank, if I'm honest. It's solid. Does it have much armour? Not really. Does it have a phenomenal gun? Absolutely. Does it have the best DPM in Era 3? I'm pretty sure it does. If not, it's in the top 2. You know, the DPM is insane on this tank. I'm not kidding when I say it's insane. If you full kit it for a DPM build, which is what I fully recommend you do, you get nearly 7.7k DPM. Even more if you boost with food. You're going up to like 7.8k nearly with a food boost too. It's absolutely nutty, and add in the fact that you have a 20mm autocannon, which you can use for the rear of a lot of tanks and the sides of some of them if you aim for the back end, and you will absolutely shred enemy tanks. You do, again, the whole caveat with that 20mm gun, and especially with such ridiculous DPM that this tank has, always make sure that you're firing the main cannon. Always make sure you're keeping your eye on that. That was a dreadful shot, you moron. Anyway, you always keep an eye on your main cannon. Always make sure that your gun is reloaded, and when it is reloaded, fire the cannon and then carry on with the 20mm autocannon bursts, because that's just the way to just maximise your DPM and maximise the effectiveness of this tank. This tank has really good mobility, that if you run the traction system, you're getting up to 83 kilometers an hour, which is utterly rapid. You've got pretty damn nice pen on this gun that you're seeing here. You've got 526 pen on the standard rounds and 633 on the premium. Now, 633 is the one that you're going to use a lot because on the premium rounds, because when you're facing tanks like the Challenger 2 or the Leopard 2A5 or even the 2A4 to be fair, you are basically going to struggle with 526 pen. You might go through every now and then, but you're going to struggle. If you fire full gold, which is what you'll see in the last replay, because I got to the point where I was like, I wonder what it's like firing full gold, and it was really goddamn nice, because I could actually reliably go through most things that I was firing at when I hit them in the weak spots, or the inverted commas weak spots. So yeah, the gold rounds are really, really goddamn nice. They'll help you pen most things you're going to face. It's actually, the gold pen on this tank is the same as what you'll get on the Leclerc. And yeah, the premium rounds will help you in a lot of those situations, and they'll help you maximise this DPM for when you'll start to shred tanks, because you do shred the tanks so goddamn quickly. I just can't stress enough how good this gun is and how good the DPM is. Because you do have that 7.7k DPM with a full kit out loaded out, like you're going to see with what I run. And then on top of that, your accuracy at 100 meters is 0.15 with this setup, fully upgraded. Your accuracy during movement is 0.77, which is really good, which means, add to that your accuracy during rotation is 0.58, means your gun's pretty much always aimed in, and you've got a 1.9 second aim time, which is beautiful. That just means your gun is already ready, always ready to go. You hit so many shots on the move, and yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. The only real the two downsides to this tank for me, is one, armour. It gets shredded quite easily, and especially if people are firing the autocannons from these tanks, it does get shredded a little bit too easily, which can be a little bit irritating at times, especially when you're getting all-in, which happens a lot. But yeah, okay, you've got really good mobility and absolutely incredible DPM. Do you want everything? The other thing is the fact that you have 7 degrees of gun depression. Now, 7 degrees of gun depression is a lot less than a lot of the tanks that are of a similar nature to this tank. And you do start to feel, I mean, it's funny to say it, but you do start to feel that 7 degrees of gun depression when you're on ridge lines, especially when you're facing against the M1A1, M1A2, M1s, the Leopard 2A4s, 5s, whatever, your Challengers. Like, the Challengers have 10, the Leopards has 9? 9, yeah. And I think the M1s have 9 too. Don't quote me, I'm not the man to know everything about Era 3 because I don't play it all that much. But you do start to feel the fact that you only have 7 degrees of gun depression. It can be a little bit of a limiting factor at times. But there's just so much about this tank that is utterly beautiful, and a lot of people are going to enjoy grinding through this thing. So as you can see in this first game, we've managed to get 5 kills with 12.5k damage. Pretty damn nice total for the AMX 40, and yeah, we came top of the team as well. High caliber, the first class, and 1578 base XP. Pretty damn nice game for the AMX 40. And yeah, this tank is just, for saying it's the middle era tank, it's pretty phenomenal. It's actually pretty damn good to play. And just the mobility combined with the absolutely ferocious DPM mixed with the absolutely fantastic gun that it has just makes it a very, very enjoyable experience. And so far, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not fully upgraded yet in the Leclerc, but so far, this tank actually makes the Leclerc, for me, feel just a little bit disappointing. Because I lose that, I think it's nearly 1,000 DPM over this tank. And I lose that 20mm autocannon. But I do gain armour. It's not great armour, but it's armour. And it counts for something when I actually start bouncing things. So it's trade-offs. Plus the gun's still really nice. But I am stock still on it, so, you know, I can't, it's one of those things. But the tank, I mean, at the end of the day, when you get to the Leclerc, you'll realise that it was, all that grinding was still worth it. Because it's still a fantastic tank to play. But without further ado, what do I run on the Leclerc? Well, I've been running the MBT-70 crew pretty much, and that includes Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Dead Eye, Track Mechanic, Clutch Braking, and Controlled Impact. Forgot what that one looked like for a minute there. Deadeye, because, well, I just like improving my chances in this era of setting people on fire. It's always a nice thing, but it is the MBT-70 crew, and the MBT-70 has that fire starter ability. Clutch braking to make the track traverse nicer, to, again, just keep up with making the mobility feel really nice on the tank. The steady aim and run and gun to make the accuracy 10% more accurate, as always, and run and gun to make it 10% more accurate on the move, because it's just nice to do that. Track mechanic, because you want to get your tracks back on as quick as possible if you do get tracked in this area. And controlled impact, because the amount of ramming that goes on in this era, and it happens a lot where people full charge you and ram you, is a lot. So I reduce the amount of damage coming in from rams with that skill. I mean, really, you could change that skill out for a lot of different things, but I also have it on the MBT-70 because the MBT-70 can ram quite decently. Plus, that's a crew that I'd run on something like the Cat or the Mobat, you know, or any really ramming tanks. And in terms of equipment for the AMX 40, I run the advanced loader, traction system, and vents. I run the advanced loader for 10% better DPM, as always. The traction system to get me up to that 83 km/h top speed, which is really goddamn good. And vents to just maximise the DPM that this tank has, because this tank has ferocious DPM, and I want to absolutely max the living poop out of it. And that's why we run vents. So, as you can see in this game so far, we're up to 2.7k damage with 6.5k assistance. And we're currently in a rather aggressive position after going all in on that M1A2. And again, I mean, he was a bit bamboozled by it, but you saw just how fast you can wreck someone with the DPM of this gun. And when you do go all in, if you can get round someone and get behind them and start just shredding, you're going to have a good time. And like we saw with the M1A2 as well, we got behind him and started using the autocannon, and that also helps with the DPM. And as you saw that in the first game against the Leopard as well, where I aimed for his back end and just launched all of the 20mm rounds into him as much as possible, and we did a lot of damage. So we're going to try and come into the middle now to take the middle. And we're coming against another AMX 40, who is actually trying to autocannon us. And he's penning us every now and then, but not always. And we're just going to try and start shredding him. And he ends up losing a lot of his hit points because my friends get the shots in. We get another shot into the other AMX 40, and this is where, obviously, facing the MX 40 is quite easy, right? Because the MX 40 doesn't have much armour, so it's not that hard to pen. This BMP3 is regretting life, and this is why I kind of prefer the MX 40 to the Leclerc as well, because if someone does go in all in on you, like you saw with that BMP, we could just machine gun them as well as using our DPM. And it's lovely. Thankfully, that MX 40 didn't actually shoot us with the main cannon as shutting us down, but we're just playing it very, very carefully now because we're a one-shot for him. And I think, okay, you know what, I'm going to get in and snatch the kill. I didn't get to snatch the kill. He snatched the kill on me. And unfortunately, we couldn't quite kill that AMX-40, but we do finish the game with a really nice total for the AMX-40, and that is the epic victory. 2 kills, 13,000 damage, 2.7k assistance, the high caliber, the first class, 1,586 base XP. A really nice game for the AMX-40 once again on that map, which was a map that I can think of the name, which is Pearl River. Yay, we got there. Pearl River. And it was a pretty damn nice game for it. And now we're on to the third and final replay. And by the way, yes, the last replay was quieter. And that is because there was an annoying sound glitch where it was going all the time throughout the whole replay. And it's frustrating when that happens. I have no idea why it does it when I record onto the hard drive every now and then. But it just decides to do it on some replays, and it's usually the replays that I want to use as well, which is really freaking annoying. But, you know, it is what it is, technical issues, so we're back to normal sounds with this one. And we're on the third and final replay, and the third and final replay, we are on Dokla Pass, a map that is pretty awful in Era 3, if I'm 100% honest with you. Or should I say the meta on Dokla Pass is absolutely awful in Era 3. As you can see, I've pinged the J line. Why have I pinged the J line? That's because there's no tanks on the AB line. Except for that chieftain that we've just popped a shot blind at. There's pretty much none there, which means their whole team is doing exactly what my team is doing, what happens every single time you play Dokla Pass in Era 3. And that is, their team's gone 9-line K line, B line for our cap, and our team's gone 8-line, well, 1 line, A line, B line for their cap. Happens every single time you play Dokla Pass. And it's so frustrating. It's such a terrible meta for this map in this game mode. And it's just frustrating to play. So we've managed to get 1 shot into that chieftain in the distance. But now we're going to use the ridgeline to try and start defending our cap if humanly possible. So you can see these leopards are crossing the open, or 1 leopard, and I think there's another leopard behind him maybe. We're going to start trying to lay in the hurt as fast as we can because, yeah, this tank can do it. You can see this is final replay. We are firing full gold. Why? Because I got sick of bouncing off leopards. And with the premium, I could guarantee go through the lower plate, or if I shoot low enough on the lower plate. So I just went for it. And as you can see, we are now laying in the hurt on this T70BU. And by the way, when it comes into premium spam in Era 3, it happens a lot. A lot of people fire premium that I've seen, and it's because you make money. You don't lose money firing premium, full prem. It just doesn't happen in Era 3 because you make such good silver. And yeah, there's not really any deterrent to not firing premium, if I'm totally honest. And it really does help you to pen a lot more shots and be a lot more effective in these games. And to be fair, especially in Era 3, a lot more shots count, if you know what I mean. So because of how fast the games go, missed shots and bounce shots cost a lot more than in a fair few other games, really. But anyway, I digress. We are now farming into this 285. I've got him tracked, and now I had him perma-tracked, I wanted to get rid of that guy. We're fairly fortunate that that weasel didn't go for us there. We went for our friend. We get the shot into the BU there, which shuts down the BU. There's smoke popped in front of us, and I'm going to change the angle now to see if we can get some shots into the Challenger. But then we notice the Leopard 285 is looking at us, so I'm like, nope, pull back a second. But now we're going to go in onto the Challenger. But again, the 285 just drives out in front of us. It's like, well, okay, Mr. 285, don't mind if I do. And we set him on fire. And I was going to pull forward and try and shut him down, but the Challenger 2 was looking at us. We get shot straight through his upper plate, and then I realised, oh, God, they're kind of pushing in our side now. That's not good. So we get a shot to track the Challenger 2 in place. And I just want to shut this Challenger 2 down because kills. We need to shut down tanks, get guns out the game. We get a shot into the side of the Challenger 2, which puts him down to a 1 shot. And now we're looking for a shot into the guys in front of us. We get a shot into the BMP. We'll just start machine gunning him. Try and auto-aim a shot into him, but unfortunately the Challenger 2 takes the hit. We're up to 13,750 damage so far. And we're just going to try and prop up and see if we can get an awkward shot into the BMP, which we do. Thankfully, he misses his shot. We're just looking for a shot into the back of the Challenger 2, but he's not quite giving it up. So I decide, okay, we're going to have to go try and get a shot into this Challenger 2. There's 3 of us against this one guy at this minute in time, and I see that there's a BU behind, so I'm like, okay, let's shut down the BU. I turn around and go, okay, this Challenger's attacking me. Why is this Challenger attacking? Oh, because one of my friends is dead and the other one's run off to chase the light tank. Ah, this is awkward. I'm probably dead here. So we're just trying our best to get as many shots in as we can before we go down to this Challenger 2. Ring around the rosies, and unfortunately we don't have a pocket full of posies. And we get shut down by that Challenger 2. When you're on low health like that, there's nothing you can do against a fairly full health tank. And we finished the game with 4 kills, 16,000 damage, the ace tanker, the high caliber, the Confederate, the sniper, 1,748 base XP. A really pretty damn fantastic game for the AMX 40. Probably one of the highest damages I've done in Era 3 so far. Pretty damn nice game, really. What can I say? This tank is really, really damn good. The DPM at nearly 7.7, nearly 7.8k DPM is absolutely insane. And adding the autocannon too, it's a hell of a lot of fun to play in Era 3 if you like Era 3. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!